We're Juna and Sabina from Synergy in Motion, and this is a spontaneous fireside chat, really designed to hear from you guys as to how you're feeling and what's been stirring for you in your body, mind, emotion, spirit dance through the last week, 2 weeks of this virus that's been spreading, and the fear and the panic that's been spreading, and just what is it doing to you, and all of the other amazing things too with humanity, seeing the beauty and the kindness in people. And yeah, just I was saying at the beginning, like, we're taking so much in, we're reading and the news, and then we're saying no more Facebook, no more this, but then we can't help but look, because we're communal beings and we want to know and we want to support each other and we want to feel that connection. Mm-hmm. So this is an opportunity for you guys to speak and to say, hey, what's going on? And, is there anything that we can do to support or inspire along the way?
Mm-hmm. And just a quick note for those of you who are on Facebook, if you're watching this live and you want to ask questions, we might not see your question, but you always can join the Zoom live. I posted the link above or below the post, so you can just hop on and ask your questions that way.
Hey Sherry, I'm going to say hi as they pop in. It's fun.
Cool. So how are you doing?
What's cooking?
How are you handling this? Are you picking up the panic? Are you picking up the hope? Are you excited about the change that is in the air and seeing evolutional life? Like, we have seen more change in the last week than we have seen ever, I think, on the planet globally. What an amazing time this is, and what a scary time as well, because this is fast forward change. And like, what will happen with the money system? What will happen with our living system? How do we work? All those questions are in the air, as this could last for a week more, a month more, another year. Some people say the schools won't open till September. Who knows? The only certainty in all of this is that we really, truthfully, have no clue. That's what I read everywhere. Whether that's a fake news or a true news, we have no clue, ultimately.
But we know there change is going on, right? So, and just how to be with that change. So just really, please do share. This is a community of like-hearted people. We really want to invite an honest sharing. It's not all rosy. It's can be very, very challenging. Like, where's my paycheck going to come from, or all of that. So just let it rip, whatever is going on. And if you have a specific question, you can ask us that as well. Mm-hmm. Hey, Michelle. Michelle from G.
Nice. So, I mean, as you're all jumping first, for me, this time is very interesting because there is.
Oh, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Do you have something?
Oh, sure, I'll go.
Okay,
awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm going to stay off video because I've actually been sick for a week since last Saturday, which where I am is where that's when it kind of got rolling here in New Mexico. So it's been very interesting for me. I'm not corona sick. It's like bronchitis or something like that. But it's been very interesting because I haven't been out in the world. I have a roommate, and she's taking care of me as far as getting me what I need. And I've talked to a few friends, but I haven't really been out in the world to absorb all that's happening, and to see all that's happening. Yeah. But I find myself, I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like a prevailing gratitude, peace, calm, and wonderment. And I know I'm shocked, right? Because I haven't, I see what's happening on Facebook, and I've checked the news a little bit, but I don't have that little thing that's almost like a nap that just like, okay, don't worry about that right now. You know, like this is gonna sort. It's all gonna sort somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true. I'm a Rosie at the moment, but I know other people are not in all that place.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's such a gift in this time to be able to be in that space, and that's kind of what we are wanting to go towards, really address the panic. And what would it take for us to be in that resonance of rosy, or not rose-colored glasses, but really seeing the possibilities that we're creating here globally, and being that space of, hey, we might not have paychecks ever again, or we might get paid somehow else. But living in that trust, that's what we're going for. Not trust, oh yeah, the universe has my back, because that can be naive, because yeah, the universe responds to whatever resonance we are. So if I'm deep inside in panic, the universe will take care of me and provide me with that energy. So really that, we're good. We will take it step by step. And
right. Yeah. I don't feel rose-colored. I just feel like content in a weird way.
Yeah. And I can relate to that as well. Both of us actually. There's an excitement and contentment and a curiosity. Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been thinking about is how in times of limitation and seeming limitation, when resources get sort of limited, that's when our creativity comes. That's when the fresh new innovations and creations can happen, if you look back in history and everything. And so that's really exciting for me as well. And it's not about, oh, what can I do without, but it's, humans we're essentially so creative. And I feel that we lose that creativity through our big consumption mentality. We're consume, and we forget how to create. So it's kind of forcing a creativity, which we see everywhere, which is really fun.
Yes, I love that you guys are doing this. It's been on my mind to do something like this, and I actually just set up a tea party with two of my close friends. And we've done tea parties in person, but we can't, right? So we're setting up a Zoom tea party to be in communication and share and just be with each other. So thank you so much for initiating.
Hey,
thanks.
Pleasure. We can have a sip of tea here.
Have water. Cheers. Hi.
Hey, Stephanie.
First time that I'm here.
Yay.
Finally made it.
Spontaneous works with you, hey?
Yep. Actually, to me, it's been kind of a blessing in disguise. I don't know if you can still hear it. Speaking upstairs. Because before I was asking for more time to work around the house and get stuff done that I normally don't get done with a 5-year-old running around.
Yeah.
So, this all started, and lo and behold, now she's spending time with her dad. Way more than before. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, miracles.
And as to virus stuff, I'm just kind of like, well, hello, virus, you can go play elsewhere. My body likes being healthy, happy.
Yeah, cool.
And so I'm just kind of, I'm not anti the news, I'm not anti anything. It's just, I've got more fun stuff to do.
And that, being in that fun energy and that gratitude, like all of us know, like lifting the vibration as much as we can, right, is what keeps us healthy and can beat the virus or whatever it is. At least we'll be happy going down if we do, right?
Like spreading the laughter.
Yeah.
With all the fun videos and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? You can type in on Facebook as well, or whatever feels right.
I've been pretty busy for putting out sharing what's going on for me, like some of the roller coasters that I get to be on and how I deal with it.
Yeah.
That because that puts tools into practical context, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
I've been way more sharing than I have ever done.
Yes, that's why we're doing this tonight too, because we can easily be hermits. And is not, you know, my daughter kicked my ass today and said, "Hey, come on, you have so much amazing stuff to share, and let's get out there." So, and yeah, it's time to be like the leaders. For those of us who have been learning this and going on the conscious path and the spiritual path and raising our vibration for the last many years, now's the time to shine and to stand up. And for those who maybe haven't been on the path or are struggling in some way. So yeah, it's just getting out there and putting the positive message and listening. And yes, from the point of view of sharing your own story. Right?
And it's also, if I run across, something that is positive instead of, oh, this is all bad and whatever, I post those things.
Yes.
Just to flip what's right about the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody who could consider themselves an empath out there, but I'm definitely one of those, and I can pick up on the fear and the panic very, very easily. And so much to the point where I feel like it's mine. And when I really check in, of course, it's not mine. And then yet I know that pinging at me is because I have a heart for it. I have an awareness, and I can give of my energy. I can contribute something to that. So I'm using that as a ping to wake me up, rather than, oh, this is real and I have to go down the rabbit hole of this energy.
So really be aware when you have suddenly sensations that are not expansive, and really ask yourself, it's like, okay, are you tapping into the collective, or is there something else that you can actually look at and let go? But don't make it personal. Don't take it in and stick it into your body. Very, very important, and very practical as well. And it doesn't matter how long you've done this work. We remind ourselves or each other all the time when we're just like, our lips become like this, and then we say, oh yeah, are you right now picking something up from someone else? Very important.
Think anal sphincter and toilet paper. Okay? There's a correlation there.
Well, I'm judging myself for being so judgmental of the people who just don't get it. Like, my brother was driving, he's a trucker, long distance trucker. He was driving back from Atlanta, Georgia, and he said it was just bumper to bumper traffic on I-75 heading to Florida. College students aren't going to let anything interfere with their fun. Doesn't matter if they all die tomorrow.
And I mean, you will always have that. I mean, watch any kind of movie in Europe. They are having Corona parties on the streets of the big cities, and the police has to go in and separate them out. And that's actually something that I did want to talk about. Is like, what is your social responsibility? Like, how are you being with that? Of being aware of, going outside, yet keeping your distance. And maybe your job leads you into a situation where you have to interact with people. And what I find very interesting also is when I go shopping, all those cashiers, they're just not very far away. And they're breathing the air and like really playing with that energy of, okay, we do interact with each other, unless we're totally self-isolated or whatever.
Which is what I've done.
Yeah.
On the Ides of March, I made the choice to self-isolate. I've been out of the apartment once in a week, and that was because I needed to go buy water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna see the diversity of all kinds of different ways of reacting to this from everyone. And what's more important than ever is really staying true to you, what's true for each and every one of you. And finding that core essence of you and really letting that shine. And not, being the rock in the stream, being that strong force in the world, no matter what's going on all around you, all the chaos is going on around you, and yet you have this steady beat. We called it the beat in the feet on our last Fireside chat. Just keeping the beat, keeping that rhythm. It's like, this is me, this is who I be, and I'm changing. The other piece is flexibility, adaptability in the change, and yet you can still have you in all of the change. And that's what's really fun. This is creativity in action.
Yeah. So I'm still curious, those of you who are still working with the public, in the public, or whose boss has not said, hey, you stay at home, how are you dealing with this? Is there anybody here who still works on a daily basis with people?
Like into the office or into the shop, into the hospital?
I do to some extent.
Yeah.
So I do to some extent, and my partner does. He's required to go into the office. And it's a whole moral struggle each time he has to go into that office, because he comes face to face with all of the truckers because he does servicing for the truck company. So they're considered frontline and necessary, and so he's shocked at how little protocol they have in place to actually handle this situation. So the truckers come in, tell what their problems are with their trucks, and there's no distance mandatory. They're handing their keys over, expecting him to hop in their trucks to see what the problem is, and it's very odd. There are people who just got back from vacation who show up to work, who aren't being sent home. It's just all very strange. And he just said the other day, just the atmosphere overall just felt super weird. Being there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everyone's kind of uneasy. Everyone doesn't feel really comfortable, but no one really is talking about it. No one's really enforcing anything, and no one really can. And so, even his boss, he can't, because there's, a further up boss in corporate who has yet to say anything of any black and white rule. So that's been hard. And then for myself, I'm self-employed, and we offer dog care for people. And so my conundrum this past week has been, do I determine what is considered necessary care and what is non-essential care? And am I the one to make the decision, or are the other people who are our clients to actually make that decision? And so I've kind of been back and forth all week with that, and finally I've made the decision to just do essential visits only. Thank you for trying to support us. We really appreciate it, but just kind of continuing with the people who are healthcare workers, or just who have to work still, or those more vulnerable who can't physically walk their own pets. So it's just been a weird week.
Yeah.
So are you able to take care of yourself in it? Do you have some self-care things, or is it just...
Yeah, I mean, I've had my evenings pretty much just free, and I've given myself permission just to rest.
Yeah.
There's a very productive side of me that always wants to be doing something to be productive, and I've really taken this whole week to just decompress every night. And last night I took a bath at 4:30 in the afternoon, and then I did a 10-minute meditation after that, and then I listened to some music, and I really haven't done much much this week, other than kind of survival mode and manage, because of that empath thing, I've had to manage like my whole team's thoughts and feelings and opinions about stuff, and about 200 clients. All of that stuff is just kind of being loaded on me too. So I've mostly just had to like feel the stuff and then sleep.
Nice, yeah.
So, I've done my week.
I mean, and particularly hearing that, this is something that really also will come clearer or more in our faces in the next couple of weeks and months when this goes on longer. Right now, we're just okay hunkering down for a short time, but if this lasts longer, I think this is one of the biggest conversations that we need to have with ourselves more than anything, because I don't see there is one right answer to this whole thing. But it's just really individual cases depending on the individual's immune system as well as their attitude towards life. And I think encouraging each other not to do the right thing. I see on Facebook so much finger pointing of this is why and you have to do that and therefore blah blah blah. That's not going to get us anywhere. What if we created an atmosphere of actually encouraging each other to trust ourselves, our own knowing, because that's the only guide that actually gets you through wherever you want to be, right? So
yeah, and I mean it's kind of, sorry, I'm jumping in.
No, go for it.
It's, you know, this whole thing of maybe feeling like we have no choice, or like we're in lockdown or whatever. No matter where you are in the globe, there's some sort of limitation. And in that you can say, well, I have no choice. In this situation, I have no choice. This situation, I have no choice. But what we're inviting you all to tonight is, where do you have a choice? And the choice is always, it's in your response is one thing, like how are you responding, and how, and being proactive with things too. So what is actually within your realm of choosing? Right? There might be some things you cannot change in this moment. That's okay. So what can you change? And if you make the change, like if your partner was able to just say, oh, I'm not going to go to work, even though, like, and is he willing to take the consequences for that? Like, we all have choice. We think, oh, well, I have to go to work to get the paycheck, but so everything is in the face right now. And okay, where is my actual choice here? You know, am I choosing to get exposed if you think you're exposed, or, you know, it's
or expose somebody else,
or expose someone else, or are you going to believe that it's all true or it's a lie? Like, what is your choice?
And within that, really finding your truth within you. It's like we're all trying to find a solution, and I don't think there is one solution as such. We're really moving into a time where we all are becoming sovereign beings, and this is like the fast track to that, where we really, notice how some people get really sick, others don't. What is the common denominator? It's not just the ones that already had a weakened immune system. So truly, I don't believe there is the one solution. I mean, they will come up probably with a vaccine and yada, yada, yada. But is that really a solution for everyone? I don't believe so. And the more of us who are embracing the diversity on this planet and really honoring ourselves and our own truth and honoring the other people's truth as well. Like, just because I think meditating increases my immune system doesn't mean that happens to everybody, right? And some people never touch their face. They might never have to wash their hands. I don't know if that's a reality. I cannot stop not touching my face, that's for sure. So my hands are very sore from all the washing my hands. But did you get that really honoring of yourself, knowing you have a choice for you, not for the general public, and your choices don't need to be including everybody else, even though it affects everybody else. It's a little tricky situation, but you need to really step into your integrity, meaning really allowing what you know inside to be also the guide for what you're doing in your actions, interactions with people around you, with your friends, and how you be in this reality.
And because we're in the unknown, you just don't know. So there's you make a choice and then you find out, so there's this kind of taking a risk, or falling on a sword every now and then, or it's nothing is tried and true. It's okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm choosing this right now. And am I willing to live with the consequences? You bet. Or no, if you're not, okay, then make a different choice.
So really follow that inner knowing, however that looks like for you. And and there's a whole over a year of recordings that we have made here, Fireside Chats, where we have looked at living in the liminal, which is now full blown. So if you're bored, you can always go to that library at synergyinmotion.info and watch some good stuff that we've done about that.
Yeah, and just reminding me of living in the liminal. This is it. This is where we're aware of a whole new possibility, a fresh new creation, and we see glimpses of it. We see the Italians singing to each other. And our hearts just explode with this amazing stuff that we see and that we hear. And then yet we still have one foot in this old reality and this old way of doing things and these systems that we've created. And they're crumbling. The systems, school systems, different systems are crumbling down, and they're gonna be rebuilding, and we're right in the middle of it. Do we know exactly what we're doing? Nope. But we got to use our creativity and our ingenuity and our genius that's within every one of us. We have a genius, and it's been kind of latent in there for most of us. And I'm curious to see what's going to come out. When we put a little pressure on, otherwise, we humans can kind of slip into comfort zone and consuming and watching Netflix and all that stuff. Yeah. It can be so comfy.
So our biggest invitation to all of you is really igniting that genius, igniting that magic within you. And we are going to do some more streams in the next couple of weeks, just spontaneously, to just help out with that and step forward as a collective into this new energy. And because you have done a lot of work, if you're still watching the stream, you have done work, or you're curious, there's something in you that is looking for that different. And that is a beautiful role in this unfolding of this change, and a very challenging one, because most of you are empaths and can perceive, and to not fall into the abyss of I'm just going on my island and I'm just going to be by myself, or totally overwhelmed by all the intensities that are unfolding right now. So to find the strength within you is more important than ever. And last time we talked about the sacred and bringing the sacred back and how important that is. And again, there is no one answer, not one way to do that. But really, like what Danielle was saying, she had a bath, she meditated. Create your own little ritual in that time to nurture you, because it's not just for you, that's where it begins, but ultimately you're spreading that vibe out.
The virus, your love virus.
Yes. Those V's. You're spreading that vibe out to the world of, I take care of myself, I trust myself. If you do that, your friends see that, people who experience you, even energetically, your neighbors. And that ripples, that has a tremendous power, because it's like a light in the darkness. And the more people that have the guts to tend to themselves and not fall into the abyss, the more graceful this change will unfold.
Yeah. And this is, go ahead, Sharon.
Hi. So for me, I'm really glad you're bringing up a lot of this stuff. But for me, yes, I'm an empath as well, and I've totally been feeling the impact of all this crazy, and it is total crazy. And I picked up on a lot of this stuff. So
am usually out doing something, and I haven't been doing as much. So I've noticed that I was going to go clean this closet. You know, oh, this is the perfect time to just really go clean this. And then it's like my body said, no, we don't want to do that. And it's like, well, you know, this is the perfect time because, you know. But anyway, I went with that, and I just relaxed into it, and I'm just taking care of myself. There's been some crazy with the money as well. I'm retired, and so my retirement money is coming in. That's not a problem. So that's not a problem. But I do have some stocks or bonds or whatever, mutual funds, and so I kind of have been looking at that. And because I'm retired, and there's some money in there that I didn't want to tank out, and because I've had that experience before, so I was kind of freaking out a little bit, and then I just kind of sat down and did a whole lot of clearing. I just had to keep clearing. This is not mine. This is not mine. This is not mine. This is not mine. And I had been wanting for a long time anyway. And even before this started, I've been looking into my finances and to kind of figure out, asking money, where do you want to be? What should I do with you? Those kinds of questions to the money itself, and not just out of my head. And so part of that was freaking out from that. Once I get through the clearing, I did want to make a change, and so I have two different places that I have money in bonds, and I went to the first one and just had the more money, and I was going to take it out. I figured, you know what, if I lost a little bit, but I don't want to lose any more, and I'm just going to pull it out. So I was really okay with that. I was clear with that. And then, but somebody said, well, just, so when I went on to the person, I talked to him on the phone, and I explained what I wanted to do or why or whatever, and then I said, well, what other options? What could I do which would be safer from my money? And he said, well, I said, well, what about CDs or whatever? So anyway, he said something about putting it in some kind of a safe, fun thing or whatever. So I said, well, so I asked questions. I was asking my body, and I said, okay, that sounds safer than pulling it out, because now I have to pay taxes and all that stuff on it. So, and then once it's out, I can't put it back in. So.
So I want to pick up on something.
And then I called the other one and talked to those guys about that, which is a whole lot less money. And he says, no, you really shouldn't do that. You should leave it where it is and just ride. Unless you need the money, leave it and ride with it. So I do have an appointment this coming Tuesday to go in person and talk to him about my finances anyway, because I've been doing that anyway before this started. So, which is a good thing.
So Sharon, let me pick up on something that you said earlier, which I find very, very beautiful. When you okay, when that fear comes in, right? That, oh, I should, and then okay, this is not mine, and really doing your diligence of, okay, what is actually yours. And it is so important. Yes, a lot of stuff is us picking things up from around us, but also in what you did, you then listen to your awareness. This is so crucial in this time, to not assume because you're an empath, all the information that you're getting and everything that you're doing when it's a little contracting is bad. I really, in these times, invite you to dig a little deeper. I know a lot of you say, oh yeah, it's not mine, goodbye. But sometimes there's an awareness in that.
If there's something that keeps coming back all the time, you haven't cleared it yet. So you might want to just take a look at it a little deeper.
And I always say when something knocks on my door more than three times or more, I pay attention.
Exactly. So that's that. What, you know, I didn't go back. The second guy told me, you should go back and put the money. You know, he said, I would suggest you can do whatever you want, but my suggestion would be to go back and put the money back where it was, because I can do that. I can put it back into the same fund it was in before. But my awareness was, for now, I'm comfortable with leaving it there. I've asked a lot of questions, and that's the point. I had decided that I was going to take it out. But as I was talking to him, more information came in. So, okay, this is another fund in a different place I could go, which I wasn't aware of before. So I kind of went that direction. So I'm still asking questions. And yes, yes, I do have an appointment to go talk to him. But I'm really comfortable now with where it is right now. And
perfect.
I'm comfortable with staying there. I understand his point. His point is, well, you don't take your stuff out and put it into a low money market until the market goes back up, because now you've got low money and now you're
flying high kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so obviously you don't want to do that. So,
Yeah.
but
So really, I mean, I love your explorations of all the different possibilities and how you stay in the question with that, and that's really, yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that.
And just the whole crazy. I mean, I live in an apartment, so I have to. The only basically thing I have to go get groceries, that kind of thing. So and I do have to go to the laundromat to do my laundry. So that's the one thing that
It's
I
a good
need
point.
to do. But other than that, I'm really feeling pretty good. Except that it's just knowing, like she said, about what's mine and what's not mine, and letting go of that, and just taking care of my body and just relaxing and and that, which is really good. And getting outside. I'm outside as much as possible. Sitting
very important.
So someone else on the Facebook just said, just go outside, get outside, walk. Check in on the neighbors too. There might be some neighbors that are elderly or more vulnerable. Just see if they need anything.
Exactly.
You brought something else up that I wanted to point out. I mean, while we're on that neighbor and friend, check your Facebook feeds. There we have here a beautiful neighborhood watch, and people go shopping for each other. There's fun stuff that people do for the kids. Like we post things on our window so they go and hunt and look how many shamrocks
for St.
crazy
Paddy's Day.
faces or things like that are on, and the sidewalks are being chalked up. Like it's fun to walk around and just find all those arts and crafts. And now I remember what I was going to say. Just had to have that creative break. In these times, watch that everybody has, this is what you need to do, particularly when it comes to your finances, right? Like everybody has the right answer, and they will, because it is a time of stress, they will deliver that rightness to you with an intensity that is very persuasive. So what I recommend before you make any choices that is stimulated by someone else other than you, take at least, if not more, a minimum of 3 breaths, I would say. But if you can...
I was going to say 24 hours.
Yeah,
but
if you can, take 24 hours or 3 days to really be with that. Because
for the big decisions.
For the big decisions, yeah. And it's I mean, there is not really the time for the big decisions, but if you have to make them, please be aware that whoever delivers a message right now is very convinced that they have the right point of view. They have their point of view, and it's probably true, right?
Well, because people are coming from that fear. So if people are selling something, they're going to really want to be convincing and use that.
Yeah, not just fear. It's like when we talk to our financial advisor, he is very convinced that this is how he needs to take us on the path. We trust him, and he has gotten us through 2008 very well. So I'm good with that, but we're always every day checking in. Okay, do we still feel that way? We don't let this is what you do.
But we trust us. We trust us to trust him. We don't put all of our trust in the financial advisor or all of our trust in someone else. It's our trust is fully in us to trust life, and we're using our own awareness to pick up, okay, what works for us. And sometimes when we don't know, it's like you just take that action, make that choice, and then you get the awareness.
Well, that's what I was going to say before. That's what came up with me, because I had made the decision, and then as I was talking to him, I did ask for more information. I got more information, and that when I asked myself, my body said yes, jumped at that, and so that's what I went with. And
yes, awesome.
That's the idea. I did ask, if I do this, can I change it? Can I put it back where it was? Can I, even if I decide tomorrow that I need to put it back, can I do that? He says yes, absolutely. So it's not, that guy never made any kind of suggestion at all. He just said, this is your options, you can do whatever you want. He said, just tell me what you want to do, and you can do it online yourself, because I was online. But so I was really comfortable with that, and that's what I went with. This other one, I'll have to look at this and see what I want to do with that. It's a lot less money, so whatever, we'll see. But
I'm sure you will find the perfect solution for you.
Exactly, And that's it's now this is if this had happened maybe 25 years ago or 20 years ago, I probably would have done whatever they said to do. I would have done. Whether they said we're going to doomsday and take all your money out, or whatever they said, no, leave it in, I would have done exactly that. But now, because I have all these tools, I mean, I do have the tools,
and you use them.
And I trust myself a whole lot more, and now I can clear stuff. I realize that some of the stuff isn't mine.
Yeah.
And stuff is projected onto you all the time, and you got to watch that too, because that isn't mine either. It's just projected and how you respond to that. So a whole lot better, and I'm feeling a whole lot more comfortable in what I do, and you know, there is a risk, and I'm okay with that. It is what it is. So,
absolutely. I actually want to bring up another energy here, because I mean, we went today for a walk outside, and beautiful day here, blue sky, quiet, and so many people were taking contemplative time in nature, either walking really slow, sitting by the river, sitting in the forest. I've never ever seen so many people at the same time on one walk, really taking that rejuvenation time in nature by themselves. And I was just playing with that energy. And when you tap into the earth, how much the earth is taking a breath right now, right? Nature is taking a breath. There's not the constant stress on all of the ecosystems right now. And I mean, there's still a lot there, but it's like
a breather.
There's
for sure.
a pause. So as part of your daily routine, try out and just tap into that energy of the pause, of that, and allow that to nurture you. And you don't have to sit for half an hour on a tree log, or by a tree, or hug a tree, or by the river. It can be a moment in time. It can be that moment of taking one breath and really allowing your body to relax and receive that pause as well. Your body is part of the earth. It will return to the earth after you move on. So it is very, very much naturally in communion with the earth. So there's a power unfolding right now that is very, very nurturing and healing. So allow that to nurture you as well, because we forget often, particularly if we're in a helper role or in a supportive role or frontline role, whatever it is, we're so busy and thinking and trying to find solution that we forget that we are part of the earth and can receive from that. And by receiving that energy, we actually are contributing to that movement as well.
And just, we were talking a little while ago about that breathing in, and I started out by saying we've been taking in a lot. There's been a lot of change, and we've been breathing in a lot of change. And then there's just a bit of a pause to contemplate that, and then breathe out. So that, and then after the exhale, you're breathing it out, letting things go, pause, take a breath in. Take more in, more change, more possibilities, and take a little pause, acknowledge all of the change and possibilities, and then breathe out, letting it all go, how it should show up, what it's supposed to look like, be like, pause, and then breathe in. So there's a beautiful rhythm that we have within our own breath, and then just being mindful, aware of that pause. Cool. So, anyone else have something to input? Any question that you're thinking? There's someone?
I just wanted to shortly say your use of the word liminal space really reminded me of all the years that I was actively working with Rites of Passage and Vision Quest. Because that there is also the liminal space.
Yes.
And right now, are we in, exactly that space? And it really invited me to start talking about, after this break and the break in the autopilot, what about consciously choosing to create a future? instead of continuing the autopilot.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for saying that, because yes, and what I caught myself in, thanks to Danielle, who kicked our ass this morning, I was like enjoying the pause and really, okay, wow, this is a reset. And my prediction is that in 6 to 8 weeks from now, that's when it really gets tough. And we thought, okay, this is where we're going to show up and really help people, because right now we would just add to the noise. And I really became aware that's total bullshit. Now is the time. Now is the time where we create the future. In every moment that we're alive right now, we are contributing to the future unfolding. And we're choosing, is it going to be in the struggle of, okay, two new world, or the old world and the new world banging, just trying to knock each other out? Or do we use that which we have talked about and just create this already in the seed form and nurture that seed of the new, of being sovereign beings, of trusting our knowing, of living our magic, of really living in communion and receiving from nature and everybody around us, and also caring for our friends and the people around us, our neighbor, our social networks, in a different way, not from caring as in from like power over and trying to control, but actually really coming from that question, what can I contribute here? And surprise yourself, right, with what you discover, because you're discovering the new ways of being on this planet, and you are one of the wave makers. Again, you wouldn't be on this stream anymore if you weren't. So yeah, we have the luxury to be in this position, also the responsibility, also the challenge, because it's not easy, but hey, we wouldn't do it if it was too easy, right?
Yeah, but foundation can we lay right now.
Exactly.
By being who we are and inviting others to whatever that is for them.
Exactly. And you know, when we're each our own being, you know, sovereign within ourselves, that is inspirational to other people. And it's not about, oh, be like me, it's be like you. Mm-hmm. And that really, and I feel like, you know, the last whatever 400 years, whatever cycle we're in, we've been homogenized. Mm-hmm. That's been the thing, is we've been like homogenized milk. We've been like shaken and stirred to fit systems, and we're entering a time where we can be more differentiated, and we need that differentiation because there are unique gifts and capacities that each one of us has that no one else has, that need to shine if we are going to create something that is very different than the world that we've been living in. Mm-hmm. And the call is for something different. Mm-hmm. And to be different, it starts in all of these little moments with us, like when we realize we're taking on all the fear of someone else and go, hey, wait a minute, that's not mine. Okay, so what is mine? What do I want to create now? And really taking that, you know, consciously, what am I creating? Mm-hmm. What am I creating with buying into the fear as mine? What could I create as something totally different? That's what I've been challenging myself with this past week. And so I've been dancing pretty much every day and just doing, we're challenging ourselves to do something very different, out of the norm every day, changing our lives, changing the future that way. Mm-hmm. So.
And when you talked about that, finding different ways, it's not going to be born between your ears. Remember that. Like, it's going to be born here,
body,
and
body,
your belly.
Body.
You don't see my belly right now, but
body,
it's not there.
Body,
Okay?
body.
So,
and it's born from space and not contraction.
Yes.
I mean, it can be born from contraction. We're going to see a lot of contraction in the next little bit, I suspect. Maybe not. I'm open for I'm open for surprises, but I suspect that there might be a little bit of contraction.
And ultimately, it is the space that
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. I very much agree.
Maybe that's the birthing channel that we need to go through.
Well, that's the like the contraction.
Right.
Like there's right the contraction and then.
That's nice. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? This was longer than I thought it would be, but
Yeah,
hey,
we thought it
fun.
would be like half an hour or something, but hey.
Anything else that you guys would like to share or contribute? Any wisdom, aha, that you had that would contribute to others in this space? We have a little bit of time. Anything
Someone,
on Facebook?
said it's a good time to call your friends and neighbors to check in. More phone and listening time. I think it's also important to go outside in your yard or nature walks, still being responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we kind of
Yes.
said that.
And we will do this more frequently in these times or in the future.
And let us know. We have a Synergy in Motion Forum Facebook group, and please go there because we're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to do some Facebook Lives, and we're going to just offer some tools, some 10-minute meditations and different things there. So go there, ask your questions. We want to really breathe some more life into that group, and we need you to help us do that. The other question I had was, how many of you are living in, you're quarantined with other people? Anybody here quarantined with other people, or, even if they're your loved ones, it still can raise tension. So I was wondering if anybody wanted me to talk about just how do you communicate best in close quarters with your people, and how do you deal like with family members and all of that. So if that's something that you want to look into, I'm thinking about doing something on Tuesday for that, and just looking at some of the different human design types that we are, and the different ways that we need to communicate and listen to each other. And we're all unique, and when we get into these close quarters together, we need to be like respectful if we want to get along and not kill each other. So just putting that out there. So just give me a Yahoo or a hearts on the Facebook here. Let me know if that's something for you. So cool.
And I think, that's good no matter where you are, whether you are in close quarters or just have to see your family once a year.
Yeah,
or
true.
friends, whatever. It has helped us so tremendously in our relationship and in our business. I think it's, in general, a good idea.
I think one other quick question
There's
is,
lots of likes and things coming up. Okay, awesome. Yes?
for the converse of that, instead of a household of people who don't normally spend 24/7 together, possibly advice also for those who are alone in quarantine.
Exactly.
It's a fairly different experience, and it maybe already feels lonely or challenging, and with this extra layer, I think that's another thing that could be tackled as well.
That's a good point. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Good.
And also birthdays.
Yeah.
I know some people who have birthdays coming up, but also kids, like small kids who are really looking forward to. And it's just like, do we do Zooms with that? Where everyone has a cupcake or something?
That's where we get creative. And that's where we need each other to like reach out on these Zoom conversations and, reach out and say, hey, I need to do a birthday party for my 5-year-old. Anybody have some ideas?
And again, check your Facebook local groups. There's a lot of intensity in those, but there's also a lot of creativity up here in ours. It's like unreal how they help each other out with those ideas. Like that's.
I know in another group call of mine, someone asked the same thing about a birthday party for their kid, and I guess Netflix released a thing, if you have Netflix, that there's like a sharing thing, so people are doing like birthday parties that you can live stream together with your friends, so you can watch the same movie at the same time and talk about it while it's happening, and you can Zoom
Fun.
So it's like a new feature that Netflix rolled out for this reason. So just look into that if you want to.
That's cool.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, that's what I want to take forth, all those creative geniuses, right? All the creative genius in you. Like, let's bring it forth. Let's be bold and be magic and bring these wild, crazy ideas. And now is the time to not just dream about it, but to actually be it and live it, put it into action.
And how can we like use this technology for Zoom right now that we can connect? I know people here from all over the world. Like, this is so cool, like from all the different countries all at the same time. It's so rich and beautiful. And there's an energy in the voice. That's why I like to hear voices. And I hear voice. No, to hear your voice, to hear your voice, and get the energy of each person here, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So use the technology, and if you need us to do a Zoom on how to do a Zoom, you can do that.
I will send you a link because Zoom did that very well.
So yeah.
Cool. So, and if you're ever stuck or anything, we're always here. Send us a message on Facebook or so, and just hey, we're here to contribute. We have lots and lots of tools. We have cool programs, and we constantly bring up new things.
Yes.
So stay tuned. And truly, if you're bored, go to our library. There's lots of cool fireside chats that you can learn, live with, and
and we're going to put out some meditations and some new things on the Synergy in Motion Facebook forum page.
yes,
Okay,
perfect.
So, cool. Thank you, everyone.